today's rant or today's wisdom is named "Not all advertising is created equal," and how to use the right advertising for your business. So we know everybody has a wide range of advertising in terms of how to put your brand out there, how to get followers, how to get people to engage with your brand, how to get people to drive footfall traffic for your brand, how to do various things for your brand. So for your business, your brand, you're looking at various things in terms of what are your goals. For the main SMEs up to corporates, the biggest thing that you're looking at is in terms of driving sales, driving revenue so that you're sustainable. If you're driving sales, you're driving revenue, you have enough profit, you're able to do other things in terms of investing in other things such as innovation, investing in other things such as growth and R&D, new products, investing in people, bringing new people into the company, new ideas, so that you can give also good customer service, which is still driven by revenue, profit, people. So people is what at the end of the day you're looking at. So in terms of advertising, why we are saying not all advertising is created equal is because different goals, every business has different goals, and how do you achieve the end goal is different. And for users or for companies who are trying to build or get to the goal of revenue, sales, etc, the key thing you need to understand first of all is knowing what is my consumer behavior. I have a product. What is my consumer behavior? The consumer behavior informs my advertising. So let's take for an example, I want to push an app or a product that is an app. Let's say, for example, case study Glovo. So when Glovo came to the market, this is here in Kenya, they did above and below the advertising, and they had a lot of capital which they had from the investors. So they were able to invest in various things such as influencer marketing, doing also campaigns on billboards, pushing advertising on Google, Facebook, Instagram, using who you know. So those people drove awareness, and after they drove awareness, they also, after awareness was created about the brand, the product, the interest, they were able to capitalize by also increasing its installs by having an offer. And this offer was for the first 6 months you are able to have free deliveries. So with free deliveries, they were able to onboard as many people as possible to use their platform and download the app and have food delivered to your doorsteps. If you don't have many people here, we are talking about Kenyan, if you are a Kenyan business, African business, you don't have seed investment, you don't have capital which is coming from outside, you're only relying on yourself. How do you yourself, how do you grow your app? How for this case study, how do you grow your app? One, you need to understand who your customer is. Is it a mass market? Is the app that I'm making for everyone? Is it, let's say an example, a taxi app? So you're looking at everyone who's going to be using this app, and who is the demographic for your app? Is it, are you looking at 19 to 40 year olds, 40 to 60 year olds? Are you looking at 19 to 35 year olds? Are you looking at 40 to 55 year olds? And where do these people live? And if you can have a good understanding of who your target market is, it can also have break it down in terms of delivering this messaging to them. For one, understanding consumer behavior in terms of where do your consumers shop. If you know that you want to target a certain population, and they are in a certain city, how many are they, and how many use internet on a day-to-day basis, how many of them have disposable income, what is their disposable income, And if you're looking in terms of the market, what other services do they use it against? So if it is a taxi delivery service, taxi app, you're looking at hospitals, you're looking at shopping centers, you're looking at night in terms of clubs and restaurants, you're looking at events. So the in terms of the population, does this market have this in abundance in terms of the number of shopping centers, the number of malls, the number of pubs, restaurants, hospitals? So all these fuels the consumer behavior in terms of using these ancillary services that are catered towards X and Y. So if I know that I'm pushing this taxi product and this is the taxi app, I know that this the major where I should be pushing my advertising and where I should be pushing my awareness will be in these key centers. And if these key centers are where I'm looking at, you're looking at one, how do I onboard people who are using these services around this area? So you must one understand who your customer is, and if my customer base isn't as large, for example in Kenya sasa, we'll say that instead of me going to advertise in Eldoret, I'll choose to advertise first in Nairobi because I know they have a bigger segment of the market. Two, in terms of consumer behavior, what am I doing also different that will make the consumer choose me over the others? I'm a new entrant into the market and I'm offering, let's say, the cheapest fares for consumers. So consumers, that can be also a decision for them in terms of what makes them choose X over Y. Another key thing that they look at is also in terms of convenience. What convenience in terms of the number of taxis that you have as a product on the platform, or number of drivers you have on the platform? Are they nearby to me? If I order, how much time do I take to have a taxi reach me? So that is also a key factor that users might be aware of. So if I'm choosing advertising and I'm an app, I'll not choose certain things when I'm going to market in terms of what is my first thing that I'll be looking at. I'll be looking at raising awareness, but first also raising installations of the app. So if I'm looking at installation and awareness, which one comes first? Should you drive awareness? Should you drive installations, or that is usage of the app? All all of those go hand in hand. But where you will be looking at in terms of which one comes before, is it the chicken or the egg? And in this case, I'd use various instances. Awareness is key, but in terms of spending, the largest part of your budget should be spent on promoting installation of the products. Awareness should cover a fraction and not the largest part in terms of promoting the app. This is what I mean. If I have a budget of, let's say, 200,000, for example, and I want to push this taxi app over a certain period, give it a month. So with this month, I'll take it that I'll use, let's say, like 150,000 of that money to drive app installation, and 50,000 I'll use it for driving awareness. So if, in terms of awareness, where will my awareness be? My awareness, this is for an SME. No, this is not for a big corporate. This is just for an SME. So I'd say that awareness, where would I drive awareness? I want to drive awareness on key social sites. I want to drive awareness on Google. I want to drive awareness on Twitter. So once I've known those are the key three products that users are using, in terms of driving awareness. So those are the platforms that I'll use. One, and also I'll also use TikTok also, because TikTok has a huge has a young follower base, of which in terms of creating the buzz running BUZZ, the buzz around the product, is that they can help harness that awareness. So I'd put my first use analytics in terms of Google Trends. You can use Google Trends in terms of seeing what are the trends that users are searching in the market. Is it you can go on Google? Is it it might be right now. What is trending right now is Kiamba elections. Last week, what was trending was the Euro elections. The Olympics is also coming up. That will also be a trend. So if I'm pushing advertising on Google, I'll be using those keywords in terms of pushing awareness, or rather targeting consumers. So when I'm doing an ad, pushing on Google Ads, and I'm also pushing on YouTube, because I know those are the keywords guys will be searching for. So on my Google AdWords, and when I'm pushing the Google Ads, those are the keywords that I'll type in terms of what the consumer, when the consumer searches for such a trend or such a thing, say it is Olympic, one of the ads that he'll see will also be my app, which might be a taxi app. So those are the things that I'll also push. If it is on Facebook, if it is on Twitter, there's also Twitter trends, where you can see analytics in terms of what guys are searching per geographic area. So you use Twitter trends. Another one, Facebook is right now Facebook is a pay to play. So for Facebook, I'd rather just be using it for awareness. In terms of analytics, Facebook doesn't really give you a granular analytics in terms of what people are searching in their network. But using the trends that you're seeing on Google and on Twitter, we can inform who you'll target on Facebook using the same trends. What are people searching for? What are their interests right now? So those are the key things in terms of interest when you'll be typing on your Facebook ads. When people search for this product, or searches for this interest, my advertising will be shown to them when they are searching for such an interest. Is it Olympics? uh, my ad will be shown on top of there. Is it event? Let's say like that time the Safari Rally was coming, I would have pushed an ad in terms of taxi services for guys going from point A to point B. So when somebody is searching for uh, the Safari Rally, my ad will be targeted towards him. I would also use retargeting ads in terms of once the viewer sees my ad, the ad can be able to retarget him on various social sites. Use the Facebook pixel on my website in order for him to engage with my ad on various times across various platforms. On Twitter, same thing. Use the trends to inform the advertising and also inform the awareness. So this is just an example for one. If I'm driving traffic for an app, another thing which is also key is that you need to understand the consumer behavior beyond just traffic. You, in terms of also knowing where does my consumer live, because that is one of the key things that will inform your advertising. And where do you get this data? That is now subject to you. You can be using agencies, you can be using different analytic tools. But for one, if you know where your consumer lives, you can be able to know in terms of what are his buying patterns, because you'll be able to know if this person lives around Galleria Mall. You know that this person either lives near Karen or lives near as you go towards Rongai, as you go towards Langata. So those are one of the three areas where you'll be targeting. So once you know this, where is this consumer likely to go have his shopping? Where is the consumer likely to go have his when he falls, or when is in need of hospital services? Where is his nearest hospital? And once you've known this, you are able to know also how much advertising am I looking to put into this segment or in this area. So if I know this area, like we mentioned, my consumer lives in Galleria, that area, we'll know that we'll try to understand in terms of how many users are they around that area, and what is their buyer preferences, and what are their day-to-day activities like. So this will also inform my advertising and also my messaging. My messaging is in terms of copy is in terms of what am I using in my advertising, the words, the call to action. Does it appeal to this sub segment? Because you're looking at deriving different types of advertising, not the same mass market advertising to everyone. You're looking at doing different niche advertising to different segments. Or if you is it do you want to do it like a blanket advertising in terms of this is the benefit of this product. So at that in this stage, you're not looking at giving value for different niche segments in terms of middle class, high class, low class markets, but you're giving everyone to be your customer. So everyone, if everyone is your customer, everyone is your user, you'll be able to understand him, her much better. And you also for well, I'm also saying the geographic areas, because you're looking at also in terms of transportation. Am I looking at more users in this area? Do they use a whole breadth of transport capabilities? Do they use buses? Do they use road? Do they use bikes? Do most of them drive to work? Do they most of them drive themselves, or do most of them use buses? So these are the different things you'll be looking at. This is one for in terms of an app. So that's why we are saying not all advertising is created equal, because every advertising can give you the best if you understand the consumer. Will the consumer resonate with what you're giving or what you're advertising to him? So you need to first understand the consumer behavior in order to inform your marketing and inform your advertising. And once you know that this is my advertising, you know that these are the goals that I want to reach. So the goals will inform the marketing approach in terms of what ad you use, and it will also inform you in terms of what approach to use in terms of which advertising platform. Is it Facebook? Is it YouTube? Is it influencers? Is it below the line advertising? Am I going to use flyers? So those are some of the things that you're going to look at. But understanding consumer behavior, which all goes back to data. You need to have data about your customers. Data, you can't understand your customers without data. And in today's age, you can't do proper marketing without data. You need to understand who your consumers are. So one, have a whole plethora of data in your database in terms of understanding who your consumer is, in order to understand, to inform your goals, and in order to push an effective marketing message that will drive sales and revenue. So that has been my rant. My name is SOS Sydney. For consultancies, you can hit me at +254 787 455 836, +254 787 455 836. I run an advertising agency, and we also deal with advertising for companies here in Kenya. So if you're in my area, don't forget to hit me up. Also download the Maber app. It's an exciting platform for you guys to also make money with content throughout the world. Yeah, so that has been me. So cheers and see you on the next one. Happy hunting.